This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Dynamic Banter. Today is a very special episode because, oh my god, what the fuck is this disgusting photo I'm looking at? I don't want to look at it. And now I'm getting texts. I actually just got a text from Mike Falzone because he's not here! But you know who is? Mr. Sam Bashor.
Heyo.
Sam!
Hi! Thanks for having me, man. I'm really excited to be on Dynamic Banter.
I'm so happy you're here, and this has kind of been a long time coming.
It's a crossover that's been in the making for many years. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how it pays off.
Me too. I think it won't.
Usually when it builds up like that, it never lives up to it.
I'm looking at a disgusting photo.
You show me a disgusting fucking cheeseburger that shoots cheese at you.
Yeah, but this is like, dear God.
Okay, I gotta see what it is. You gotta.
Let me do a little spin.
Could you do a little spin?
Let me just do a spin for. Let me do a spin for you, and then can I not tell you what it is? I just want you to see it.
Where's that hole go?
Try to describe what you're looking at.
It almost looked like a fish. Wait, what's that part over there? Like its feathers or fur they're pulled off and there's a hole in it and it's. Why are there eggs on it? What is
Is there blood?
Yeah, there's a lot of blood. What is that? What is it? Is it a mammal? Is it a bird?
It's a bird.
It's a bird.
It's a bird.
Thank you. What are you looking at? Why'd you?
Well, I'm on the Backyard Chickens forum.
What's that?
Because if you because every once in a while we like to just check in on the, the Backyard Chickens forum and see how they're doing. And on the side there was a photo of that. Mm-hmm. That was the photo there. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with right now.
What's that? What was that?
So, those of you that are listening might notice that there is a... God damn that picture. Can we get away?
Yeah, I'm not even... You're looking at it.
It's just on my screen and it won't go away. The air conditioning is on. Owen, if you're listening, go fuck yourself.
Does Owen listen?
Owen listens, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And Owen's here sometimes for the podcast, but he's got a full-time job now and he's not around much anymore. Bless his heart.
Fucking loser.
What a fucking loser. Sam,
Steve,
you and I haven't really hung out much since the closure of Now This Nerd.
I know.
But I've seen you in several places.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like you're doing well, and you've got your podcast with DJ.
Yes.
Which is called Only Stupid Answers.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, I know it.
No, we've hung out. You hooked me up with a pretty sweet job like a month ago. It was like a limited thing, but that was really cool.
Yeah.
And no, I've been just hanging out. I've been working with the babies over at Skybound.
I love them. Yeah.
They're real
last
nice.
time I went, they were like singing your praises.
They have some good stories. They told me some funny shit about you, but also I think they worked for Tyler the Creator for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they had some good stories about that. He's barely a person.
They experience a lot of weird stuff over there, and but I love all those babies. Mike Cruz, are you okay?
There's something flying.
There's something flying around you.
I had a dream recently that I did a Freaky Friday situation with Mike Pence while he was vice president.
Wait, do you remember a lot of it?
Yes, it's one of those really vivid dreams.
So hang on, I want you to tell the story, but I want to accompany some music.
Okay, I'll keep it on that. I'll kind of just slowly bring it in.
Okay, here we go.
So here we go. So
I might not like this song, and then we'll change.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it.
Okay, it had like a.
Let's do this one. I like this one way better.
Yeah, this is atmospheric. So in the dream, I woke up in my childhood bed, and I looked in the mirror, and it was Mike Pence looking back at me. and I had all the responsibilities of a vice president. Like a man in a suit walked into my childhood bedroom with all my Beanie Babies everywhere, and they handed me a portfolio of an investigation we had to do about Trump, and I had to call my mom on the phone, and I was freaking out because I was like, I don't have the responsibilities for this, and she's like, no, you'll figure it out. And I started thinking, I'm like, wait, I feel like the story. I just like the music. I wanted to listen to it. I thought I was going to be assassinated because I thought people don't really like Mike Pence, and I thought they were going to get me.
This sounds like what politicians probably deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah, they're probably going to need ZQL.
They probably yeah.
They're going to need a knockout.
They have too much responsibility, and they probably have no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Steve, what's like 3 of the craziest things that have happened since I last saw you or worked with you?
Dude, we need a longer podcast if you want to know.
No, it's okay. What's one of them?
I almost got killed by a hitchhiker.
I almost got killed by a homeless man in New York.
Did
Do
you
yours
really?
First. Yeah.
No, I've already told mine on the podcast. And
Abridged.
Abridged is I picked up a woman at listen, hold on. Not a great way to start it. There was a woman who asked if I could give her a ride to the airport, and I was in Burbank, and I was very close to the Burbank airport, and I drove her there, and it was creepy, and she was acting creepy, and she was asking me weird things, and then she asked me for my phone number when we got to the airport, and I said to her, "No, that's all right." No, I'm good. And then she embarrassed and nervously got out of the car, and then that was that. And I offered her a LaCroix.
Aww.
But then she was like,
no.
I was like, all right, here I go. So that's my story. Go ahead, Sam. What's yours?
I was just in New York. I did a little work there for a couple days.
New York is scary, man.
New
York is.
It was a mix of fun and scary.
I don't really like New York.
It doesn't smell good anywhere.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And
I had friends though that showed me around.
Here's the thing: in LA, there's a lot. Like Hollywood is gross. Like especially Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, it's gross. Hollywood and Highland is gross. There's a lot of gross stuff on the street.
Smells like
it's very
urine
touristy.
constantly.
Yeah, and there's like areas of Hollywood where you can walk around and the smell is pretty bad. You'll get like a waft of a bad smell, but I have not smelled the wall of stench that comes from dark pipes and grated ground, like grated like little like floor things,
I always
like the
imagined-
likes of which are available in New York City.
I thought that was just hot air, but no, that's just hot sewer that's escaping from the subways.
It's everything. I think it's everything. I think it's the sewer. It's the hot of the subway. I think it's everyone's breath. The smell that comes out of the ground in LA in New York is like everyone in the world's breath at once.
Ugh.
Do you think if you could somehow, like, what if there was a comic book where, in order to stop the bad guy, everyone has to like into this device, and then it collects everyone's breath and then shoots out a concentrated breath.
That's a disease.
Of
You're
one-
gonna get everyone's
right?
gonna
Like,
get
when
like
someone-
halitosis.
Would it be like what happens when someone's exposed to like intense radiation?
Yes.
Like their skin just bubbles off and they're just.
You ever seen pictures of mustard gas? It would have been like that. It would have been
or
like that.
in Terminator 2 when she's holding onto the fence and she just.
But it's breath.
Yeah, it's breath.
it's hot garlicky breath.
Why does it smell so bad?
Rotten teeth breath.
Rotten. Gross.
Okay, so I was trying to get on the subway, but the subways in New York are really fucking confusing. They don't tell
They're
you.
so confusing.
It doesn't say which way you go, so I was just kind of like trying to like when subways would come up, when the trains would come, I would try to like peek into the door to see like what the stops
thing
were.
up on the.
And because nothing says it anywhere to figure out where you need to go.
You gotta like know how to read maps. And you gotta look at the maps, and it's like it's a lot.
I'm illiterate, so I can't do that.
I know I can't.
But there's a man who was kind of hovering. He was moving around like the train and everything. And when I like peeked in, I felt his hand move across my chest.
No.
And so both of his hands were on my shoulders. And he was like, and he shook his head. He was like,
Wait,
And
in front of you?
Yeah,
Like holding
yes.
you like this?
He was like, and he wasn't gripping too hard. I was about to do it to the mic to like show you, but no, he was like,
it was like when friends grab you to go like pep talk you.
yeah, it was like that. Like it was sturdy, but I could get away from it. But he was like, he just kept shaking his head no, and I was like, what? And he wasn't saying anything, and he just staring. And so I tried to get on the train because I couldn't tell that if it was my train or not. So he moved in front of me, and I was like,
Oh, he wasn't letting you on the train.
no, and like he didn't get on the train either. So I was like, okay.
What if he knew something you didn't know, and that train? What if you found out that train derailed and everyone died on it?
What if it? I mean, I don't know. Like
What if he
he
saved
was
your
so
life?
sure. It wasn't like a threat. It was just like
No.
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 But the train made it, so I
The
was
train was fine.
I was
so.
an hour and a half late to dinner, so I don't. I
Maybe
think,
it was you from the future. Sorry, you're homeless. And maybe he was trying to tell you, don't be on time, Sam.
I might get a lot of melanin because this gentleman was African American.
Well, you know what?
You never know.
You never know.
You never
they
know.
do things in science now that you'll never believe, and your brain won't know what it is.
Your eyes will never believe it. But he stopped me, and so I missed, and he did it in a lesser way the next time a train came.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck? Like I got up, I went up.
Oh, he
this-
did it again?
He didn't grab me, but like he like eyed me as I was like getting near the train.
Like he was like, not this one either.
He kept shaking his head.
Wow, what the
and then
fuck?
finally he left, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But
Were you
weirdly,
scared? Be honest. Were you
yeah, of
scared?
course I
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Like he was touching me. A person was
Yeah,
touching
yeah.
me.
And the fact that he was watching you too.
Yeah, he was eyeing me. I didn't like it, but I apparently, I mean, both those trains weren't the right trains for me to get on.
So maybe he knew.
maybe he like smelt it on me. He knew where I was supposed to go, and he just said, "No, don't go on that one."
Yeah, he knew where you needed to go, and he was trying to
Hmm.
stop you from getting on the wrong one and wasting your time.
Yeah,
But you were still late anyway,
I was.
so he's not very good.
I didn't feel great, but man, I know you like you don't drink, but I did go out and did like a little bar crawl with some friends like that when I was in New
Yeah.
York. Fuck, that's really fun.
Is it fun?
Yes, it's beautiful.
I have too much anxiety to do
I had
that.
something called ass juice, and it had apple and pomegranate schnapps in
Why
it.
do they call it ass juice?
I have no idea, but it was the most delicious thing I've ever had.
Do they have that here in Los Angeles?
No, it was an exclusive bar thing.
Ugh, ass juice. Were you like? What made you want to order that one? Just because of the name?
It was their thing. It was like,
Oh, they were
you
like,
come
you
here
gotta
for the
try
ass,
ass juice.
You come here for ass juice.
That's disgusting. It's hot in LA, so we got plenty of ass juice out here.
Especially in my leather seats in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Wring those out.
Oh no!
Ring in the
Wring it
new
out
year.
into a glass and put in a block of ice, and you got yourself a cold summer's drink. A cold summer bev. So, I don't like New York, really, Sam. I'm just gonna go out and say it.
Be honest here. It's your podcast.
Well, I
you can say
grew
whatever
up-
you want.
I grew up here.
Yeah.
I grew up in L.A. basically, Ventura County.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to agree, but I got distracted.
You are, but I just, I don't know what it is. I just think it's too fast for me, and it's confusing and
I was
gross. A lot of trash. There's so much trash.
everywhere. They don't know what to do with it. They just leave it out, and then it goes to Jersey.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's just piles of trash on the street, like just on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never seen such a thing here.
Living on the street, living on the street,
Living on the street. We're gonna get in trouble because that's a copywritten song.
It
now.
is. Oh, really?
I don't know.
It
doesn't
probably
belong
is.
to me anymore.
Oh, it's sad. Wait, where would you go if you? Wait. Where would you go?
What if I could travel anywhere?
Yes.
Thank you, Sam. I want to go to New Zealand.
New Zealand. New Zealand.
New Zealand.
I really want to go there too, just to watch Taika Waititi movies.
Yeah, that's the only place to go to see them.
That's what you can see in the theaters. They play them all year round, and especially the theater next door plays Flight
Yeah.
of the Conchords
There's all the time.
all the time.
There's a theater where they just play every day. Did you have you ever heard of a Peter Jackson film called Meet the Feebles?
Is that a Muppet thing?
It actually kind of is. Is this the first time you're hearing
I've
of this?
never heard of that.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up a little thing here just because I want to get the log line. I want to get like the little what IMDb says about it.
Okay, if we're gonna read weird things, may I read you really quick a brief synopsis of one of the episodes of Legend of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
season 2?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick because I found it this morning and I was laughing to myself in the tub.
Yeah.
Where
In the tub.
in the
Is that
tub.
where you do most of your laughing?
I get a lot of thoughts out there. Yeah, in the hollow tub. You can hear it ring through the
Did you take the
duplex.
tub from the SourceFed office?
I actually gave it to my sister, and she cleaned it up and made it like an actually functioning tub.
Oh, really?
And she just moved to a new place, remodeled the whole place, and put the tub in there. And it actually looks really cool now.
What are the origins of that tub? Who found it? Was it Ricky?
Yeah, Ricky got it from Craigslist from a
Oh.
photo shoot, and then I got it from him for $100, and then I just gave it to my sister because it was like
Wonderful.
a birthday present. All right, quick synopsis
Let's hear
of
it.
one episode. If you remember, there was like a newsletter that came out and said George Lucas. There's gonna be a person playing George Lucas.
Oh
on
yeah,
That's It
yeah.
Tomorrow.
There's like they travel through time or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is the synopsis of someone. They wrote it online.
okay.
George Lucas fights Reverse Flash for a piece of the spear that pierced the side of Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Oh, in this that spear can rewrite reality.
Is that the Spear of Destiny?
It is the Spear of Destiny. It's in Constantine, right? Or like Hellboy or something. It's in like
It-
other shit.
It's been they reference it in a lot of other stuff. Like I think there was a Indiana Jones game, like a LucasArts game.
George Lucas
George
fights
Lucas and
a speedster for the spear that killed Jesus
Is that
Christ.
really what happens?
Yes. And George Lucas decides not to make Star Wars movies, and all the nerds on the ship get stupid because they never have motivation to become scientists. So it's like this. It's
What
fucking
the
time. It's
fuck?
real.
So it's like this, like, let's see what would happen if George Lucas never made Star Wars. Let's see what would happen. They're trying to say that if George Lucas had never made Star Wars, nerds would have never been scientists.
basically, and that somehow
That's a lot.
George Lucas had his hands on a piece of the Spear of Destiny, and he didn't know it as a college student. I don't know what gets knocked down in the writer's room of that place.
Yeah, what do they say
Yeah.
no to?
Because J.R.R. Tolkien was in the show for 2 episodes.
Really?
When he was a soldier in the 1900s.
How does the estate agree to that?
I don't know. I don't want to know who asked them about that.
The Wikipedia for
Meet the Feebles.
Indiana Jones
Oh.
and the Spear of Destiny says it was a 4-issue comic book. And it was published by Dark Horse Comics in monthly installments from April to July in 1995.
Wow.
Man, and this is a fucking massive Wikipedia entry. Holy shit. There's a lot of info here. But yeah, it looks like he did there was a Spear of Destiny thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But what's Feebles? Meet the Feebles.
Oh man, Meet the Feebles. It's a very fucked up Peter Jackson movie. It's one of his early films, his second film.
Is Meet the Feebles to Peter Jackson like Howard the Duck is to George Lucas?
On an insanely small scale.
Yeah, okay.
Like almost not. Because Meet the Feebles is like bad good.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a 6.7 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
But those scores mean nothing.
No, they mean nothing. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes says, which also means nothing. But let's see what Rotten Tomatoes says about Meet the Feebles.
Here we go. Pull it up.
Let me call this up. It's got a 71%
What? That's not bad.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, now I'm looking it up just so I can see a picture of it.
Just see a picture of
Meet
it.
the Feebles.
Don't go too deep because I'm gonna take you on a journey.
Okay, sorry. I won't. Oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
I just saw one photo. Okay, paint a picture for me. What
it's
is
just
this?
very fucked up and gross. It's basically like, it's a cool concept. It's like there's this show like the Muppets, like the Muppet Show, and it's very popular and it's on TV and everybody loves it. And the movie opens with like the big opening of the show, and there's all these puppets dancing, and it's real friendly and family oriented. And then the second they're done, it like someone says cut, then it's like people pull out cigarettes and start lighting cigarettes, and then there's like puppets fucking backstage. And then-
Really?
yeah, there's like one puppet that's like addicted to heroin, and one that's like there's one that was in Vietnam and has Vietnam flashbacks, and it's very racist and like super fucked up.
Is it funny?
It's funny.
Is it like really funny, or
It's
is it just
funny. It's funny, but it's like uncomfortable. It's like it's not okay. Like here's what some people have said about it on Rotten Tomatoes. A unique experiment and one whose insights into human behavior aren't as important to it as its sense of curdled black humor.
Oof. Ooh.
but we can't write it off as just a gonzo provocation. A strange little film showing once again what an incredible director Jackson is. I don't know about that one. Hello, Feebles. I'm amused and nauseated.
Is Gonzo an alien?
Gonzo is a weirdo. Yeah, well, there was a movie that went on to say
He's an alien, right?
that he's an alien. Yeah, but Jim Henson didn't really. He was like dead already when they did that, so I don't know.
Damn.
You can say it's like Muppet canon, I guess, that Gonzo is an alien, but like I don't know. It's kind of up in the air.
I mean, is Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever that pirate movie is that canon?
Treasure Island, Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah, is that canon?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it all is, but it's like for me, I just don't know. Like I would prefer that Gonzo was like just known as just this weirdo that nobody knows where it came from. But I actually like Muppets from Space. You ever seen it?
That's the movie, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's all about Gonzo.
There's like fish that come out of space and they talk to Gonzo.
Yeah, and then like and then his family comes and they want to take him back, but he's like, no, I belong here.
Mm-hmm.
Camilla,
That's really good.
I'm dying. Help me, Sam. I'm dying.
I miss your George R. Martin.
George R. Martin.
Yeah.
Listen to this review for Meet the Feebles. Oh God. Where do I start with this one? Where? I really don't know. The biggest reason anyone should watch this is because it's Peter Jackson's second film that he ever made, and it shows just how much better he's gotten since then. It's just super fucked up. I want to play for you these clips that I pulled from the movie.
Please do.
Yeah, because I just think that everyone needs to just get a taste of this. The scene in question is about an anteater named Dennis who sniffs panties. And a rat. I forgot the rat's name. He's a real piece of shit in the movie, and he was shooting a porn film with a cow and a cockroach.
Ugh.
And the cow sat on the cockroach and killed it. So now the rat is looking for a new porn star for his film, for his porno film.
That's a charged scene. That's a
It's
lot
very,
happening.
A lot going on, a lot to unpack. And so the rat needs to locate Dennis, and he knows exactly where to find him.
Exactly.
Which is in the laundry room where all the panties are, and he's basically just sniffing panties in there. And the rat catches him, and this is the scene that follows. That's Dennis smelling the panties.
Well, what do you know? It's Dennis on a smelly minge bench.
Now let's
Wait, what the fuck?
let's unpack this clip.
Uh-huh.
The rat emerges from the panties and looks to Dennis and says, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you what he says, and then we'll listen to it again." He says, "Well, what do you know? It's Dennis on another smelly minge binge."
Minge? What is minge?
Minge is another word for pussy.
Wow.
And so he's on a smelly pussy binge, and this is these are puppets.
And this is rated R?
If it's R, I'd be surprised. It's probably a little something under that.
Oh.
Well, what do you know? It's Dennis on a
Oh, they're so gross looking.
They're so gross.
Oh. That's you laughing at the
Yeah,
end of
I'm
it.
laughing because it's so ridiculous. This next scene also involves the rat again. And throughout the movie, there's a fly.
What do we learn from this movie?
Not a whole lot.
Okay. But okay, what's
Not a whole lot. I mean, it's just basically it's an interesting concept. Look, before we get to the clip, it's an interesting concept because it's like, what if the Muppets, the fun-loving Muppets, behind the scenes are just as awful and terrible as normal people are and normal celebrities, but then turn that to like 11. So it's like the Kermit the Frog character is a rabbit, and he's like a nymphomaniac.
Ugh.
And basically at one point in the movie, he has a three-way with two other rabbit girls, and then he starts to feel sick afterwards. He's got like a headache and he's sweating, and the doctor says that he's got a sexually transmitted disease and he's gonna die.
Whoa.
And so it's really dark.
Yeah.
Super dark. So there's this fly in the movie, a very gross looking fly, and it's like a paparazzi character, and it flies around, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get the dirt on the females, and then I'm gonna put it in the newspaper and ruin their career. And so he finds out that the main character, the main Kermit Rabbit guy, has an STD, and so he's like, I'm gonna tell everybody, and he's a real piece of shit.
Did you just find out about this movie?
No, I saw. Oh, so here's
Yeah.
a little background. When I was in high school, I had a crush on this girl who was like a punk. She was very like punk rock sort of.
Sounds like your girl.
It was my kind of girl. And she was like super into John Waters movies and like very much into fucked up movies like trauma movies like Toxic Avenger and Sergeant Kabuki Man and stuff like
that's
that.
rough for me to watch.
Deep Burns, those movies. Nukem High, stuff like that. And so she showed me Dead Alive, Brain Dead. It's called Brain Dead elsewhere, but Dead Alive here. And she showed me Meet the Feebles. And Dead Alive is actually like really fucking good, but it's also the most disgusting movie I think I've ever seen in my life. It's a comedy, horror, but like there's like really gross shit, really, really gross shit. It's also a Peter Jackson movie. So Peter Jackson did Meet the Feebles and Dead Alive, and then he did this movie called Brain Dead, then he did Meet the Feebles, then he did Dead Alive, Fuck, what was the first one called?
Dead Alive.
Bad Taste. The first one's called
Dead
Bad Taste.
Alive. I've always wanted to watch. I've only seen
The cover where the
God.
woman's like opening her mouth and the skull's in there.
Yeah, holy shit! What the fuck's happening in this photo?
Dude, I'm telling you, it is one of the most fucked up. I mean, it's
Is that a baby coming
a
out
baby.
of a skull?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think at the time, for many, many years, it was the bloodiest movie ever made.
What the fuck is that?
So the movie is about like a rat that bites someone, and it's from like Africa or something, and it creates this like terrible zombie kind of like disease, and then it spreads really fast, and this guy has to like save the world. It's very gross, very fucked up movie.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, it's so hard to watch. Do not eat when you watch that movie, but watch that movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, the fly wants to. So Meet the Feebles.
Sorry, Meet the Feebles.
Really
Yeah.
quick, I'll just scooch through the plot really quick. So it's about the dirty side of like a Muppet show, and then it centers around this character named Robert, and he's this little cute, what is it, like a porcupine? He's like a little porcupine, and he's like, I'm here to join the Feebles. I'm really excited. And he's like this cute little, like he would fit right in with the Muppets.
That's a cute voice.
It's sort of what it sounds like, not necessarily, but he would fit right in with the Muppets. But he joins the Feebles, and he like learns that it's like full of a bunch of gross, like really gross perverts, and like it's really fucked up. But he falls in love with one of the girls in the show, and it's just it's just so gross and weird, but it's a cool concept because it's like, what if this like fish out of water, I've always wanted to join the Muppets, joins the Muppets, and then learns that like it's really fucked up and awful. And
Kind of like what Disney tried to do with the Muppet movie when they made
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
of course they can't do
A
the
little
fucked up
bit.
stuff.
Yeah.
They just do like a lukewarm version of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a kid like going like, I'd love to join the Muppets, and then he does, and then it's wonderful. But this is more like very fucked up. So anyway, this final clip I have from it is of the owner of the Feebles and his henchman, the rat, have discovered that the paparazzi fly has printed that the rabbit has an STD and is dying.
Jesus
and so
Christ.
he's like, this is going to ruin the Feebles, so we need to like take care of this shit. So they want to lure the fly somewhere so that they can kill it, and then say that like it was a lie and the fly was a liar. And so in this scene, the rat is trying to get the fly's attention because the fly knows that they're after him. And so he's using like a cartoon kind of like tactic to try to lure the fly into a toilet with something that flies love very much.
Oh, God.
And so here's the scene in question. It's the rat And this is, just for context, the rat is in the girls' dressing room.
I love that you have all these queued up, by the way.
I know,
Thank you for
because
having
I just
these.
love it so much. Owen and I were dying laughing at this garbage. But this is the rat in the girls' wardrobe room, the girls' dressing room, asking very loudly this question to lure the fly in.
I say, everyone, who's the dirty person who did the great, big, stinky poo that's blocking up the toilet?
Okay. I say, everyone.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Say, everyone, who's the dirty person
Who's the dirty person? Who's the dirty person who left a big stinky poop in the toilet? Like, the delivery is so
Muppet.
madcap.
Who's the dirty person who did the great, big, stinky poo that's blocking up the toilet?
What the fuck talks after it? Is that a sheep?
That's the girl that the boy's in love with. She's
Oh,
like
okay.
a poodle.
Jesus. Did you ever watch Drawn Together?
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Okay, so
But it was really fucked up.
It's really, really fucked up. Also, so I try to think about what's the most fucked up thing I think I've seen in a movie. We've seen a lot of fucked up shit at Fantastic Fest.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you saw, holy shit, you saw the thing that I wouldn't watch about like that, the brother and sister that like.
Oh my god,
have-
that movie changed me a little bit.
You said there was like, it's incest and period blood.
Yeah,
all
there's
over
like a
people's
period
faces.
blood scene where the guy is like under her and she stands up, like right above his head, and then like.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so but I think the most fucked up thing.
Watching that in a movie theater with a bunch of people was perhaps one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever had to like sit through with an audience, because everyone was just enjoying the movie. I mean, we're all watching this from this is an art film perspective, so, but
that's rough though.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that like always gets me is, what is the movie? The Fly remake with Jeff Goldblum, when he starts to go
Cronenberg.
full, when he goes full fly,
It's gross.
and he vomits like on the guy's leg to eat it,
Yeah.
and I can't, like,
it's so gross.
I can't watch it. It's so fucking disgusting.
That whole movie it's an awful
It's,
awful movie.
Yeah, it's
But
really
it's good.
cool. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. And I've never seen the 1951, but I'm pretty sure it never turns into that.
Oh no,
It-
no.
It's pretty tame.
It's like one of those harmless kind of like B movies or something. But,
I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
me too. I just got it on Blu-ray.
They made it a Blu-ray?
Yeah.
That guy's still making money. Good for him.
Oh yeah, do it, do it. Let's do a
What kinda-
sponsor
what-
spot.
Oh,
What
let's
were we
hit it.
gonna say?
Sorry, I wanted to know what kind of coke-fueled nightmare created Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I know.
All those fucking
the
B
same
movies.
one that they used to meet make Meet the Feebles.
Oh.
This spot, guys, let's stop for a second to talk about our first sponsor of the day, which is, of course, MeUndies.
Wow.
Now, guys, let me just say this really quick before I get into my experience with MeUndies. Pride starts on the inside, so celebrate yourself with MeUndies. MeUndies makes the ultimate feel-good undies with free shipping right to your door, satisfaction guaranteed. Now, they're designed in LA, and every pair of MeUndies is made with micromodal, which is a fabric 3 times softer than cotton. Their soft, stretchy undies come in an ever-changing array of colors and patterns. No matter what your style, they got something for you. And that's because MeUndies believes in people feeling good and being themselves, which is why MeUndies is putting their money where their underwear is during Pride Month. That's this month. And for every pair of special edition Celebrate undies, and that's the name of the special edition undies, the Celebrate line of undies. If for each pair you buy during Pride, MeUndies will donate $1 to the Los Angeles LGBT Center.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Which they definitely could use the donation. And guys, as if you needed another reason to try MeUndies, they're offering 20% off your first pair and a satisfaction guarantee that you'll love them or your money back. So just visit the URL, MeUndies.com/banter, and head to MeUndies to pick up a pair of your special edition Celebrate undies, and you'll not only get a discount on awesome undies, but you'll be donating to an amazing cause. So guys, check out MeUndies.com/banter today. And by the way, I just got them in the mail today.
Oh.
And they are absolutely the softest underwear I've ever held in
That's
my
what
hands.
you want.
It's almost like a silk, but it's like
Hug on the
it's
crotch
like a
area.
silk hug down on your junks.
That's a good pitch.
I'm sorry if I made you a little. I'm sorry if I tickled you a little, Sam. But I'm telling you what, those MeUndies is a comfies. There's a comfies boys.
Thank you.
So make sure to check out those MeUndies, huh?
MeUndies. Bless you. Oh. I like the music cues you have.
Thanks, man. This next sponsor is actually Bespoke Post. Sam, have you heard of Bespoke
No, I have not.
Post before?
They're
super cool, kind of like it's like a club for dudes, like a guys club kind of thing, and it's a subscription box, and it's $45, and it revolves around themes like grooming, food, drinks, travel, basically like a bunch of like guy-oriented stuff. And the boxes are signed on the 1st of every month, and there's no commitment, which means you can cancel it at any time. And you have 5 days to review the box, and you can skip any box without a penalty. So if you check out the box and you're like, I don't like this one, you can just send it back. Or you can just say, like, you know what, I'm just going to skip this one, and maybe I'll pay for the next one or something. There's a lot of really cool options with Bespoke, but I actually got my Bespoke stuff in the mail, and Mike and I both got totally different stuff, which is really cool. So we both got like different things to try out. Mike got like Bluetooth headphones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I can't remember the other thing he got, but I got a Moscow Mule kit.
Cool.
And I don't drink, but it's like...
You get the copper cups,
it's
right?
It's the copper cups, and it comes with, like, this ginger mix, and then it had this, like, this fancy wooden hammer and this, like, kind of like this burlap sack type thing. And I was like, what the hell is this thing for? And I guess you, like, put ice in it, and then you use the hammer to crush all the ice in the bag, and then you pour the ice into your glasses, and then you make your Moscow Mule, and you got a little Moscow Mule kit.
If you don't want that, I'll take that.
I gave it to Bree.
Shit. That's fair.
So, and I also got a super cool travel bag. It's like a leather... It looks like a doctor's bag. And it's really cool. I'll show it to you after this, Sam.
All right. Oh, you're foaming up. Oh, you're foaming up.
So, guys, check out the trythepost.com/banter. If that's a little bit confusing, that's the whole web address. Trythepost.com/banter. Or you can use the code BANTER at checkout at bespokepost.com and get 20% off your first box. So that's trythepost.com/banter or promo code BANTER and check out Bespoke Post. It's really cool stuff and actually kind of good quality for sure.
Go steal that from Bree.
Yeah.
I really want that.
You can steal it from Bree.
Okay.
She probably doesn't even want it.
She's not that fast. I can get in there and get out real quick.
Well, she's a get out kind of guy. You're a get out kind of guy.
Go ahead and get in.
Get out.
Get in, get
You're
out.
a get out kind of guy. So guys, check it out. Bespoke. Trythepost.com/banter or promo code BANTER and try out your Bespoke.
It's a lot of codes. It's a lot of
Tell me
codes.
about it. I'm having a hard time over here. Sam, let's talk a little bit about our past. Was there something you wanted to talk about before we jumped into the...
I wanted to talk about when Jeff Goldblum vomited on that man.
Oh,
and
man,
then
we did it.
He ate the leg.
He ate the boy's leg.
He ate the boy's leg.
Have you seen The Fly 2?
Why would they make a sequel?
Oh.
Did the baby come? Was the baby born? Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Where did it go?
It's all about the baby.
What's
It's
wrong
all about
with
the
it?
baby.
Ooh. Is it look like...
Well, the movie opens, and it's like the woman is in the hospital, and she's giving birth.
Oh, God.
And she's like, oh, my God, what's happening? And it hurts, and the doctors are freaking out. And then they're like, someone passes out and faints, and then they lift up this, like, gross, like, larva. It's like a maggot.
Ugh.
They, like, pull out this, like, big, wet, wiggling maggot, like a giant maggot. And then she, like, freaks out and wakes up.
Uh-huh.
And it was a dream.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, my God. But then she ends up having the baby, the real baby, and it's just a normal baby. But then it starts to, like, develop the fly problems. So, and then it's, like, an even crazier, like, more powerful version of the fly. And then, like...
But it can't get that old, right? Like, it's pretty...
It's just one day. One day.
Jesus
the houseflies
Christ.
live for one day.
That's a crazy day. That's
What
baby's
a
day out. That's a crazy day.
Do you think that things that live for one day, like it seems like the longest? It seems like. Do you think our lifetime seems like one day?
Maybe we look like mountains or rocks to them. That like they they don't see
Yeah.
the aging or changing, because they say that like insects, the way they perceive time is different from us.
Sure,
They perceive it faster.
they goddamn better.
They better
I didn't pay to
enjoy
be
all
a
those
human
days.
for nothing.
Exactly. Oh, may I? On 3.
Happy birthday, Sam.
Happy birthday. From our past.
Do they remember?
What did we do before? No, you said
Oh
our
yeah,
past.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Santa Steve with you.
Okay.
And I wanted
People like that.
People liked it, yeah. And
Someone
it's-
sent me a clip of the first one, and that's probably my favorite.
yeah.
That's,
Do you have fond memories of that?
Yes.
Did you look forward to that, or were you a little uncomfortable about it?
I was
Or
never.
little column A, little column B.
I was never actually uncomfortable by it. I mean, I was actually maybe a little bit, but not like really, not
Yeah.
like really by it, because I just wanted to play into it
Sure,
and
sure.
have some fun, because I know that's what people wanted.
Yeah.
And the first time you did it, it was a goddamn
Well, that's some
nightmare.
real fun with it. Yeah,
It was a goddamn
it was,
nightmare.
for sure. You know, I get to a point. I remember getting to a point with most of the Santa Steves where I kind of just black out because we do it for so long,
Uh-huh.
and I kind of just don't know what I'm doing anymore. And the editors like cut it down to something that's like viewable. But man, God forbid they ever.
Have you ever gotten that footage? You should try to find
I
it.
don't know. Someone has it.
Somebody has.
I
Like,
bet Owen has it.
he should have.
I'll have to
grabbed it.
ask him about it. But there's nothing we could do with it.
Uh-uh.
We could like watch it, I guess, but we could never put it anywhere.
I was thinking about before I came over here that I haven't laughed as hard as when we did videos together.
I
Like
know,
it's
man.
been I think the last time I can remember like really not being able to control myself was we were talking about the McDonald's family or the the McDonald's village or community or whatever it is of like of Grimace. Grimace was last seen at Dodger Stadium in 2011. And people always like send those clips to us, you know, and I'm like, they're still fucking funny.
Yeah,
like,
man.
like I was putting together my reel. That's fucking annoying. But I was putting it together, and I wanted to put some
You
like
put
that
some of
laughter.
those good clips in there.
I wanted
yeah.
to, like when you did the horse socks thing. I'm like, this makes no fucking
It's
sense.
so fun.
But like maybe it can make it seem like we're having like a good time.
I look back at like the different eras of SourceFed, and like really like some of the weirdest fun I had was when you and I were doing most of the nerd videos.
It was such a weird middle time
yeah,
between
because it was a
everything.
transition between like Trisha leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and then even to push even further back, like Meg leaving, and then us just kind of like being stuck with like trying to find a new girl nerd, and like auditioning all these girl nerds.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were doing that, you and I were holding up the fort at Nerd. But those were like some of the funnest. There's so many weird.
It was probably
videos.
the most fun making videos I've had.
Yeah, because
'Cause
we
it-
would just we do whatever the hell. No one. And we were also in between like management too.
Yeah.
So like we were kind of like I think I was the producer still with Trisha for a bit, and then Trisha left, and then it was just me for a very short time.
And did you want to do that?
No,
Like, yeah, that's
no.
what I figured.
And that's
Yeah.
why it was I was originally asked to just do it on my own, and I was like, I don't know anything about administrative or like managerial stuff.
Yeah,
So
analytics and shit.
yeah, like I can manage the talent, and I can manage the content, and I could be creative and produce, but I can't do any of the other stuff. And that's why Trisha and I split the duties of the managing the Nerd channel for a while, because Trisha was good at being an adult and being organized and maintaining schedules.
Shout out to Trisha. I miss Trisha.
Shout out to Trisha, who's amazing. She's a good mommy.
She's got a baby.
She got a baby.
She got a baby.
She got a baby.
Is that her?
Yeah.
That's her.
It is. She still hasn't taken her. She hasn't. I've told her to come over here, but then she enticed me to go to her house because she has a pool.
Did you go in the pool?
I need to go. I haven't gone yet, and when I go, I'm taking that dang cutout for her. but then yeah, there was this kind of time where we were just there was no real anybody telling us what we could and couldn't do. So we were just like doing weird shit, and that's when we made the weirdest stuff and did the weirdest things. Like we would upset Audrey on the daily with our weird ad reads.
the doo-wop
Yeah, the thing where we were snapping our
Yeah.
hands and moving in unison.
Domain.com, we had that thing locked down.
Yeah, yeah.
We knew that like backwards and forwards.
We had to redo many a spot because of how weird or like inappropriate we got.
That was so much fun though.
Yeah. There's some really good clips from those days. And even when like Mod came on, we still kept the weird up. Like, remember there was that one thing?
I think I'm thinking the same thing.
Are you thinking the same thing?
The when we wore masks.
The masks, yeah. And then Maud like wears the mask too, and
Uh-huh.
she's like doing a weird dance.
We
or
were
something.
like vomiting water out of
Yeah.
our masks.
Yeah. Dude, what was that?
I had to look it up because there's just like somebody on Twitter just had that clip.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
I can't find it.
I can't remember what it was from.
And then I had to look it up. It's when some actor got in trouble on a press tour and said something like racist or sexist or something. I don't remember. And then Chris Pratt pre-apologized for like all the shit he said on the tour. She's like just trying to entertain everybody because he would say whatever he wants because he's a normal person.
Yeah.
So we pre-apologized for
Oh, for
doing
the
some
weird
fucked up
things?
shit we were doing. Yeah.
Do you think I'd be able to find it somehow by typing in certain things?
Pre-apologize or prologize? It was something like something like that. Also, I was looking up like the morning news, nerd news.
Yeah.
thing.
This your nerd
The
news
geekly
or
thing.
something? Geekly news.
Yeah.
there we
When
go.
does Charlie have his underwear out? Sorry, I got distracted. Is his undies sticking out of the back of that? Is
Yeah,
Charlie
it kind
from
of looks
Lost?
like it, huh?
Fuck, I missed that.
Yeah, Chris Pratt apologizes
Yeah, there you go.
for Jurassic Gate.
There you go.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at it later.
YouTube.com/nowthisnerd right there. Go ahead and go to
God,
that.
it kind of freaked me out that it was like, no, this can't be it because this is called Now This Nerd.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh boy.
It was weird when what was it? Table talk. When I looked up the horse socks table talk, and then that was there. That was weird.
Oh really?
yeah, I was like, that's weird.
Now This Nerd. Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck.
Anyway, yeah, we just did a bunch of weird shit, and we dude, you came up with a really good bit that we didn't do. Did you continue doing this thing where it was like, we would do like these superhero punches, and then the punch would pop up or
Oh
something?
yeah, it was some stupid shit about what the fuck was that video about?
It was like, let's
Dude,
get.
we did so much.
Yeah. I
Like-
know it. Like, and when people bring it up to me too, I feel so bad because I forget
Yeah.
everything and I don't remember.
Oh, okay. So you probably had like creepy fan interactions, and usually people who like have like do the creepy thing, they don't mean to. They're just trying to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
usually like a joke that they're trying to be in on.
People's is people's.
People be
People be people.
I can't see it, but I know it's
Oh
happening.
man, it's so good.
yeah,
What a bunch
it
of
wa-
weird shit.
It was some bit where what the fuck? I was in the Black Widow costume, and I sweat in that thing immediately.
Yeah.
I'm a sweaty boy. I sweat
It was
too
a
much.
video.
Yeah, it was the thing we did when we like I think you broke a cup outside.
Oh
and we,
yeah,
like-
yeah, that was it.
yeah, and I was like punching shit. I don't remember, but no, I try to think back. Oh, sorry, it was a fan thing. Is people
Yeah.
a guy at the LA show for SourceFed came up behind me and he said, "Get in my Uber," and I was like, "What?" I was like, I was so caught off guard I didn't know how to
Whoa.
respond. He was
Yeah.
like, like Santa Steve, like the Uber
Oh my
coupon,
God.
and I was like, "Oh man,
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, okay."
You're like, this was it. I'm
Yeah.
about to get kidnapped.
And also because there's this other guy who was like 6'7", and he kept coming up behind me and hugging me, and I'm like, I feel like you're gonna
Like this is a kidnapper.
You ever seen someone shot put something? I thought he was gonna shot put me into a car and leave.
Or chloroform.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like if he had a big duffel bag, I could be put in there, and he would just walk away, and
Have
no
you
one
ever been
noticed.
put into a big duffel bag, Sam?
Yeah, I think a tall guy's gonna have a big duffel bag for all of his tall clothes.
You're right.
Yeah, he's gotta
for
have a-
those big suits.
Yeah, those big suits that I could swim in. Walk and swim in.
Well, I mean, I've had some pretty creepy interactions for sure.
Oh yeah, they're always the thing.
They are always the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to prepare for it. But you know what? Everyone's been mostly sweet, which is good. I
Yeah,
always
no,
appreciate
everybody's
that.
really cool. Everyone's so supportive. Like when we did Only Stupid Answers, I was weirdly surprised by like the response of it.
Yeah, isn't it interesting how like if the source fed audience was like mostly good, but there were always those like people that are like, I fucking hate Meg, or I fucking hate Steve, or Sam's a little bitch, or like I fucking hate, like there's always some hate there. But I feel like in these communities where we're building them ourselves and there's not like 7 people involved, and it's just like either you or a DJ or me and Mike, or it's like my own personal channel or your own personal channel. Like for the most part, the audience is like incredibly supportive, and like they're never shitheads. And
also,
like,
you can't like stumble upon this shit. Like you can't stumble upon Dynamic Banter really unless
Yeah.
like somebody puts out an ad for it, or you get like a guest on from somewhere
Yeah.
else. Like it's hard. So yeah, you just attract the people who want to be around you.
yeah, the
And
people
it's-
that know you and
Yeah.
follow you. Yeah.
And I talk about nerdy shit, and it just collects a lot of people who are surprisingly really positive.
Yeah.
And they keep I don't know if you guys are listening from Only Stupid Answers, but like if they keep making like sub communities all over the place on like the internet, like there's a subreddit, and we just passed 1,000 like subredditors
Oh,
on the
very
subreddit,
cool.
which is
Nice
cool.
work.
And they made a Slack account, and like they're all over. Like I just can't keep track of all the places
Yeah.
that they're talking now,
Yeah.
but it's so cool that they're doing
you've
that.
built a little ecosystem, and they've all gone off, and it's like The Sims a little bit,
Yeah. Why do the Sims do sex things in that game?
because people demand it.
Why? Because there's like people you follow on Snapchat, like just you can follow anybody. And I was looking, and someone posted a Sim blowing another Sim, or blowing multiple Sims.
But it wasn't like it was implied, right?
from not what I couldn't see a pee-pee, but I saw
But it was like heavily implied, it's not a hack or something. It's like actually
that looked like Sims. Like it was 100% like it's always different Sims things, and it looks like the game, and not like what? But like why? Why is that there? Like why would you need that in the game? Do you? I mean, you probably don't have an answer. For
I think
that.
I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
I think it's just the nature of humanity, Sam. Everyone wants things to fuck eventually.
You got a point.
That's why there was that episode of Sesame Street where they had that where Big Bird fucked Prairie Dawn.
It wasn't Snuffleupagus? That's the sound.
Big Bird fucked Prairie Dawn.
That's
Are you familiar with Prairie Dawn?
No, which one's
She's
that
a
one?
pink.
The fairy thing?
No, she's a little girl. Guys, I think it's time for History Road.
History. History.
It's a good one.
Why?
This History Road comes from Katie Muse, and it's called History Road, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the boring version. Oh, good.
What is that?
Thank you for sending us that. She says, "Hello, boys. My name is Katie, and I'm from the same town in Massachusetts. I'm from some town in Massachusetts. I've been a fan of your funny content, both together and separately." She's talking about Mike, but you know what? For the purpose of this
Yeah.
podcast, she's talking about you right now.
That's so sweet.
For a few years now, I've listened to every episode of Dynamic Banter, what you would probably consider too many times, but in my opinion, it's not enough. I recently finished my first year of college. I was incredibly nervous about going into higher education and for performance nonetheless. Listening to this podcast on the way to and from classes, trying not to laugh, but unable to hide my smile, helped me relax and excited to take on any challenges that came my way. Thanks for making me and so many others so happy. I've been thinking about writing this History Road for a while now, so here it goes. Thank you, Katie. That's very sweet.
That is sweet.
All right, let's pull up some music for this History Road so we have a nice little...
For the people at home that don't know what History Road is, what's happening right now?
well, most of the people at home know what History Road is.
Well, shit. Fuck
so I'm
me,
just
right?
not gonna say it.
Fuck me, right?
History Road is when fans submit either real or fake stories that kind of take them down History Road.
Oh.
You know, back in the day.
Back in the day.
Sometimes they're embarrassing stories. Sometimes they're completely made up.
Mhm.
We kind of encourage both. Sometimes they get real weird.
I'm excited.
Okay, let's go. Oops. Let's
Oh.
put this a little lower.
Just bring it in real low.
Okay, here we go. The year was 2006.
Sorry.
Which I actually said myself. It's not written here. It says the year was 2006.
Okay.
This born girl was at the fine age of 8. Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Wink.
I went to New York City with my mama to do various tourist type things. Humble brag. The most important reason we went was to see the production of Hairspray on Broadway. Now, at the time, I was not the full-blown thespian that I am today, so the only reason I wanted to see the musical was to meet my idol at the time, sister, Haley Duff. Sister of the Disney legend, Hilary Duff.
Hillary.
Was in the show, and that was the real reason my mother spent much money on this trip that I would probably forget. But that's not what this is about. This is about after we had completed our mission. We had been staying in an apartment building that my mom stayed in whenever she was in the city for work. Well, that's the real humble brag. Once we had packed all our belongings and said goodbye to the room, soaking in the sadness that our adventure was finished, we left. We walked down the dull hallway with beige paint and a tan rug that constantly smelled like someone had just microwaved leftover pasta. Finally, we were at the elevator, my mother holding one suitcase and I holding the other. I pushed the button. We waited for a minute or so, then the elevator finally arrived. I walked into the elevator, quickly hit the button for the lobby, and immediately the doors closed. In a panic, I ran to the door. "Mama!" I cried. It was too late. I was on my own in the large apple. We'll be right back. As the elevator, welcome back to my dynamic banter. As the elevator went floor by floor, my 8-year-old self stood in the corner on the brink of tears, terrified that it would stop and a stranger would get on, and before I knew it, I would be kidnapped. Much to my relief, when the doors did open, it was the lobby. Shaking, I walked out of the metal box. I made eye contact with the young man at the front desk who smiled at me. I stood in front of the set of elevators, waiting like a dog that sits at the door waiting for its owner to come home. After waiting a few minutes, growing more and more nervous that my mother hadn't come down yet, this older woman came into the lobby, pressed the button for the lift. Oh, that sounded British. And stood right next to me, practically shoulder to shoulder, waiting. Ugh.
Bless you.
Thank you. It took her a few seconds till she suddenly asked me, "Are you waiting for someone?" I quietly said, "Yes," and proceeded to tell her my tale. "Oh, no. Do you want me to wait with you till your mom arrives?" Stranger danger!
Yeah, that's no good.
"No, thank you." At this point, her elevator arrived. My mother was not inside it. She looked back at me. "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'll be okay. Thank you, though."
I think you're making it creepy.
I did make it creepy. You're right. Then she was gone. You're right. I made it creepy.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Come on. We'll look for your mom.
Are you at least 8? Continued to wait for what felt like an hour, but that was probably just 5 minutes, when miraculously my wonderful mother walked out of the elevator, luggage in tow. She then proceeded to ramble nervously. "I thought you would just get back in and try to go up to the floor, so I waited for you because I didn't want us to be going up and down and up and down. So you're good. So you're so good for just staying here. Did anyone talk to you? Are you okay? You must have been scared, etc."
A little loop. Aww.
I told her what I just told you, and then we left for the airport. Looking back now, and having seen Home Alone 2 multiple times since then, I realized I could easily have gone full-on Kevin and ran around the city, but alas, I didn't. So, oh well.
Kevin's a little piece of shit.
Thanks again, Born Boys. Lots of love. Katie M. Thank you so much, Katie, for that History Road. What a wonderful tale. I'm so glad your mom didn't die, and I'm very glad you're alive
I'm glad you didn't get caught in the elevator.
Yeah, me too. You ever been caught in an elevator?
No, have you?
No.
Well?
Knock on wood. But yesterday I went to an office meeting thing to shoot, and the elevator was on the first floor, and I was only going to the third floor, and it took like 7 minutes to get to the third floor, and there was like this terrible sound, and I was like, this is it. Either I'm going to plummet to my death like the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, or I'm...
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm sorry, the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mission Breakout.
One time I had a breakout in high school, and I had to wear cream.
Queen.
You haven't gone on that ride, have you?
No, it's too much. It's
Yeah,
too
it's a
much.
lot.
It's too much to go to Disneyland, even
a
though
lot.
I want to go and I want to wear my Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, do you have the hoodie?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you wear it?
No, it's too small.
I know. I'm jealous of the boys that there's little kids that can wear it.
Mm-hmm. Did you like that movie?
I didn't like the second one as much as I liked the first one. I like the first one way more.
No, I think it's better, but I still cried more in the second one than I did in the first one.
I didn't find it that sad actually. I didn't think the Yondu storyline earned the level of dramatic.
They did kind of shoehorn it
Necessity.
in at the
Yeah.
very end.
Yeah, it's like who is this guy that was like a terrible piece of shit that now we're all sad about?
Aw,
He was like a piece of shit to Star-Lord his whole life.
Skylar.
Skylar. Like his whole life, he like taught him how to be like a badass and fight and stuff, but he was like basically a slave.
Well, you couldn't have two really piece of shit dads in a Disney movie, could you? Like, you can't have the dad that wants to do his bad thing,
I guess that's true.
and you
All right.
can't have Yondu being a bad guy too, even though he was.
It's just so weird that like they were just like
You can fix anything
I
if you
feel
just
like-
say that like he was just trying to tell a joke.
yeah.
I mean, not really, but that's what.
And
they
that's
did.
that's what they did at the end. You're
Yeah.
right. But then I just feel like Yondu became such a popular character, like in between the movies. Like it wasn't like after seeing the first one, everyone was like, Yondu was amazing. It was like suddenly because Michael Rooker, that's his name, Michael Rooker.
Yeah, he's really charming.
Yeah,
and
he's
funny.
like great, and his career is amazing, and he's a great actor. But it's like in between the movies, it's like fandom kind of intensified for Michael Rooker, and so I feel like they like then beefed up his like role in the second one and made him more of a focal point, and then suddenly he's like the father figure of Star-Lord. Like, I feel like unless you read the comics and that's like a storyline in the comics, like the two movies don't really kind of like convey that enough for me to have been as sad as everyone was about it when he died. Sorry, spoiler alert.
It really I really get sucked into stupid shit like that. I even get emotional when I watch
Yeah.
commercials, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it worked. I'm sure if you analyzed it, like, man, also does James Gunn really hold on to jokes that he thinks are funny?
Yeah,
that are
all
not
the penis jokes that were all over the place.
and the taser face,
The
thing.
taser
the
face,
the scrotum. That was like, yeah, it was.
yeah,
Wasn't funny. It's not funny at all. It's really
no.
It's that he read the name and he's like, that's funny.
But then
And
they
then he
thought
made
it
a
would
joke.
be funny to keep going with it. It's fine. Sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. Like I drive bits into the ground, and I think they're hilarious, and people are like, "What is this fucking guy on about?"
Well, they're
So it's like-
wrong.
Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. But you know, listen. Everyone can love and whatever they want, and I don't. Who cares what I fucking think? But I just I like the Guardians movies. I think they should keep making them. I would rather they make those forever than any more Transformers movies. And I'm ready for the next one.
I need to know your opinion on something.
Okay.
I just saw The Room, and it was magical.
With the boy and
no.
oh, Tommy
Room.
Wiseau.
The Room.
Oh, I love it.
Not Room. The
Oh, I
Room.
love it.
Oh,
You just saw it?
Just saw it. It was like it was a magical, yet I've never been more frustrated watching
Yeah.
a movie before.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's so like you are dead halfway through the movie because you've been laughing so much, and you're like, I can't believe this exists. But then it gets to like the third act, and you're like,
What the fuck's
okay,
happening?
this needs to just end now. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like not even funny anymore.
Uh-uh.
It's just like uncomfortably.
The 8th time someone's had a conversation with what's Sarah, Lucy, whatever her name is.
Lisa.
Lisa. There you go. There's like 7 or 8 people that have the same
Yeah.
conversation with her, where it's like, hey, you can't do this to Tommy or
Yeah.
Bobby, whatever the fuck his name
Tommy.
is. Tommy. And
Or Johnny?
Johnny. Yeah. And Mark is his friend. There
Yeah.
you go.
Mark.
Hey, what? Oh, hey, Mark.
And who's the other one? It's hey,
is it Dylan?
Denny.
Denny. Yeah. Denny, you're so
Oh,
funny.
Danny.
Oh, Denny. You're so funny.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Isn't it funny how like the whole movie is just like totally Tommy Wiseau got his heart broken by some girl probably because he was a piece of shit
Yeah.
and not a good boyfriend. And then he wrote this movie about how amazing of a person he is. And the girl's just a piece of shit. And he's like, I'm going to kill myself because I was a good boyfriend and she does not love me.
And she missed out on me.
Yeah, I killed myself with gun.
Where did he? Oh, my favorite part is when he's like, so that whole scene when he freaks out at the end. Have you ever watched the documentary on it?
No, but I'm waiting to see Disaster Artist.
I am too. We should go see it.
Very excited.
I'm really
yeah.
excited for it. But there's a fistful of spoons or something. It's like that. There's a documentary about it.
Yeah.
But I also was reading the IMDb like trivia as you went through the movie. The final scene when he has like the freak out and he destroys his apartment or whatever, he had taken too much NyQuil because he was getting sick. And so he's very like, when he's not drunk in the scene, he's literally falling asleep while he's shooting it. And there's this one clip that we had to keep playing because he knocks off picture frames from the wall and one of them hits the camera and gets stuck on it. And then they keep going.
Oh, and it's just there the whole rest of the time?
Boop, boop, and like it lands on the corner of the camera, and they just keep going through it. Also, that fucking character who pops up at the end was supposed to be the glasses guy from earlier. Like, like they had like that one weird like lawyer friend that showed up. It was I couldn't tell you the character's name because he's not.
I don't
important.
remember that well.
Okay, so there's this guy with glasses that was in there, and he remember the classic football scene where they're all in tuxes,
of course.
and he's the one who falls or gets tackled or something by somebody.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't come back to shoot the rest of the movie.
So they recast
him? They
him?
recast him, but made it a new character who is equally as emotionally involved in everything that's happening. And he shows up, this new guy shows up at the end of the party, like for his birthday at the end of the movie, and he's like, Lisa, you can't do this. And it's like, well, who the fuck are you? Yeah, how do you? Why does everybody fucking know that Lisa is having sex with Mark? Why is that? And also,
because he wrote it that way.
Yeah,
he wrote it that she's the worst person on the planet.
And so, have you ever looked into Tommy Wiseau where he got like $6 million to like make this movie?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the behind the scenes stuff, but I do know that the guy that played Mark wrote a book.
Yeah, and that's
what the movie's based on. Yeah.
So he used to sell, what's the term for it? Jeans that are kind of there's a mistake with them.
Okay, yeah,
there's
misprinted or something?
Basically, like misprinted
Sure.
He had a warehouse of misprinted jeans of denim, and he sold that. And nobody, like Mark was like in this book, he's like, we were all sure he did it he got the money from drugs, but it's like, no, he'll never say. He'd always be like, ha ha ha. And they keep going.
For sure he did.
He got it from drugs, but like, I guess the most.
Prostitution. I mean.
From him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, those sex scenes when you see his ass.
Oh, I know.
Oh, my God.
So much ass.
The best quote from behind the scenes is the editor of the movie. He was like, do we have to show your ass? Like, do we have to? And Tommy said, that's the only way this movie's going to sell, if you show my ass. But before he got to say that, the editor was like, because my wife is scared of it.
Oh, man.
It looks like snakes fighting in a burlap sack.
They did show it so many times.
So much.
And it's like the same shot, I feel like.
No, it is because the actress who played Lisa, who was the like third understudy for that role, because everybody else quit. Most roles except for Mark. No, even Mark they were like understudies, and they came in because they hired up to 8 sometimes, people to play the same role, and because people just kept quitting. He came up with the idea to have another sex scene with Lisa while shooting the sex scene, and she's like, no.
Yeah, no more.
We're not going to do that. So they just filmed more of it, of the same scene.
Oh, so they just shot for a longer time.
Yeah, and then they...
Oh, and they cut that into 2 sex scenes?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Even though it's the same, like, angles and everything.
And the same bed. Well, I mean, I guess it's okay that it's the same bed, but it's the same lighting. And
same everything.
Same time.
Yeah, there's no difference. Also, he had a rig. He was the first... This is the only film to ever do this. And he, like, really holds on to that. He built a rig that could hold one of the first digital cameras to, like, a professional digital camera and a film camera. Like, he bought a panorama camera to film this movie so that he filmed on both digital and film.
Oh, so there's a digital and film version
But
of
he
it?
never used any of the digital footage when he edited the movie. He only used the film. But he bought both cameras, and a panorama camera is, like, I don't know, like a $400,000.
Yeah, sure.
It's something like
it's
that.
Not cheap.
But he purchased it, and he owns it at home.
Jesus Christ, what a weirdo.
But he probably makes a shit ton of money now.
Maybe. Just off of the room, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
It's funny because I was thinking, like, man, those actors that didn't end up doing the movie, I wonder if they're kicking themselves, but probably not. Like, even
Why
if your
would you wanna
movie
be
is
a part of
known
that?
as, like, one of the worst movies ever and people laugh at it, like, it doesn't mean you're like in a good thing. It doesn't mean a good thing that you're in it. Like, I make fun of Whitney all the time for being in Birdemic.
My brother watched it for one of his film classes, and he's like, he kept sending me photos of her, and he's like, who the fuck is this? Like, why have I?
Oh, like he recognized her.
Yeah, he's like, but he couldn't figure it out. He was like, who is this? I'm like, I'm not telling you. You got to figure it out. Like,
dude, I didn't know. I had never met Whitney, and when she came in to test for Nerd, I was like secretly freaking the fuck out.
yeah, it's
I
like
was like, oh, it's Birdemic. She's from Birdemic. I love her.
Have you ever had like a conversation with her about
Oh, yeah,
it?
we've talked about
yeah,
it.
it's magical.
She was on like How Did This Get Made, on an episode of How Did This Get Made with like Weird Al. It's like her and Weird Al and the
Oh,
cast of How Did This
cool.
Get Made. Yeah.
Is he the cast of? How
No,
Did This
he just popped into that episode as a guest, I think.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
What was I had a shitty movie in my head. Oh, the girl who played Lisa in the room
yeah.
was in my friend's film project, and like during the screening, he didn't know it because he just seen the room, and he's
He
like,
didn't know while he was making it?
he didn't know what
Oh,
because she
shit.
didn't bring it up, and
Well,
like
sure.
yeah, and like it was like Chapman, it was like out in Orange, California, like she was like, no, I'll just do it for free, and he was like a sound guy on it, so he wasn't really like paying attention to how good the acting was. So he was like, "Oh, maybe like she'll be better in." No, she's just as
Oh,
she's
man.
just as
She didn't-
fucking.
so she didn't-
It's like 10 years
Wow,
later, and she
wow.
hasn't taken one acting.
Maybe
acting
she
class.
should take acting classes.
Maybe,
then, yeah.
or just stop.
You know, I mean, you shoot for the stars.
You
don't
should. I always do what you do, and you do it, and you do it well, and you believe in it, and you can never stop.
Well, Sam, I think that's a good note to end on.
Thank you.
And I think it's a great way to end the podcast, and I think that's a lovely way to end the podcast. I think, and I think it's a great way to end the podcast.
Can I make a fun last tidbit?
Of course you can.
I accidentally swallowed the contents of a glow stick when I was a child, and I vomited it up really fast, but the vomit did glow in the dark.
Was that cool?
Yeah, but my parents were real scared.
I think it wasn't dangerous at the time. I think it's still not dangerous, but it's just not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not dangerous.
Not dangerous.
I'm glad you puked it up, though. Did you puke it up because it was gross, or did your parents make you puke it up? Okay.
Both.
Okay. One time, Bowman and I were dancing at a club, and we opened up glow sticks, and we sprayed them all over our faces and pants and clothes, and we were dancing with like glow stick goo in our mouths. And
If Bowman ended up in the White House one day for any reason for work, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either, honestly, and I think we'd be better for it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better choice than anyone right now than Matt Bowman. In
I
the
want
office.
to see his Instagram account while he's in the White House.
I hope he'd still do his dad ass character while
Yes!
he's in there, just cooking up some brats at the White House barbecue.
I want to see him handle a Sean Spicer-esque press
Oh
conference.
man, I just want to see Bowman make everything. He's a very talented, funny boy. All right, well, Sam, thank you so much for being on Dynamic Banter.
Thank
you for
you.
filling in for Mike Falzone.
Thank you for teaching me about the Feebles.
Oh, you're very welcome. I have it when you want to watch it. When
I
you're
would
ready,
love to.
When you're ready
You
for
know
that.
what? I want to do more movie nights if you are.
Let's do
if
it.
you're
I'm
up for
always
it.
down, dude. I'm the one friend for sure that you can count on. That if you're ever in the mood to just watch a movie with a friend, you can hit me up and I will always be down.
Let's watch Bottle Rocket and all the old Wes
Okay.
Anderson movies because I've never seen them.
Dude, yeah, I'd love to do that. You just made my nipples hard. Sam, thank you so much for being here. And is there anything you want to plug other than
Just-
Only Stupid Answers?
No, that's it. That's it. You just go to onlystupidanswers.com. You'll find everything there. Also, we got a Patreon and we put bonus content up. Also, shit, we're about to launch some cool, like, I can't say it because it's like a surprise, and it should, whenever the fuck this goes up, probably it'll already be up.
It goes up tomorrow. This goes up tomorrow.
Okay, then it'll be like next week. So I'm
Okay.
pretty excited about it.
Will you
And
tell me about it when we're done?
yeah. And also, there's a video coming up on my YouTube channel, just Sam Bashor if you look it up.
Oh.
And it's like this new travel type thing that I'm doing.
Hey.
And I'm having someone help me edit it because I can edit, but I
But
don't.
it's a lot.
I filmed about 50 gigs worth of footage, and I think that was a little too much. But yeah, it's a little too much.
Okay, so it's a lot.
It's a
Yeah.
lot to sift
that's-
through.
When I was recording the VR Resident Evil game, I
Yeah.
got like a lot of fucking footage, and I was like, okay, I don't want to edit this, and I did it anyway, and I hate it. But I had a lot of fun. Will you come play scary games next time I do scary games, funny people?
If
on
you
my
wouldn't
channel?
mind.
I would love it. All right, well, check out Sam's stuff, and then your Twitter is just Sam Bashor.
That's
Sam
me.
Bashor. Okay. Well, guys, if you're not already following this boy, please do, and check out his great podcast with DJ. And I'd love to have you guys both on with Mike at some point.
I think we're gonna have you on to talk about apes.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so down. I'm ready for it.
I'm so excited. For that
So
movie.
maybe we could do a little cross promotion for when Mike's back. We can do you and DJ on our show, and then I'll pop over to Apes. And if you want Mike could probably come too.
I'd be super down.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know how excited he'll be about the Planet of the Apes movies, but we can. It might be fun to include him.
We always are pretty positive about movies, but it's always good to have somebody that doesn't
Like, not
who
a
doesn't
movie
like
fan
it.
at
Yeah,
all.
it makes it more fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. If you want to submit your history roads, you can do show at dynamicbanter at gmail.com and send those history roads to us. And also check us out on Instagram, where we post your photos when you tag Dynamic Banter. We repost them. And Mike Falzone's in New York or in the East Coast. See him at comedy shows out there. Check his Instagram and Twitter account for info on that stuff if they are not already sold out. And check us out every Friday on Dynamic Banter. Thank you, Sam, for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you, boys, for being boys. And thank you, girls, for being boys.
That was a HeadGum podcast.